Welcome back. In the last video, we just did a general overview of the tutorial series, the project we're going to end up with, and basically the classes we're going to create through the course of this series. In this video, we're going to do a really basic level layout and import all the content we need from the content examples. This video series is being filmed with version 4.9, so just keep that in mind as you're going through the UI or the code. Here's the new project tab in the project browser. We're going to use a C++ template for third person, and go ahead and leave the setup on desktop, but you can change the quality to maximum quality or scalable 3D or 2D depending on your system setup. The reason I say not to change desktop to mobile here is that will change some of the inputs for your project. Now for starter content, you can either include it or not. We don't need it for the tutorial, but if you want to take the project further, you could definitely either add it now or add it sometime later with the add feature packs in the editor. One thing that we do need to do is we're going to name the game Battery Collector. Now, if you name your project something different, you will have to adjust the code from the tutorial, so if you really just want to follow along and be able to word for word copy what I'm using, then name your project Battery Collector and go ahead and click Create. So that's going to generate the template code, which is a character and a game mode, and it's going to compile the project and open it in the editor. If you're using a GitHub build, you will end up in either Visual Studio or Xcode instead, but just go ahead and compile the project and open it in the editor, and you'll be ready to follow along with this video. Again, this is the third-person template just because that's the camera controls and input that I wanted to use, but you could try it adding this same tutorial content to, say, the vehicle game or your own game and see how that works for you. This is going to go ahead and compile, and when we come back, it will be open in the editor. Okay, now as you can see, our project is open in the editor. We can hit play and run around with the character. He's got some jump functionality already set up, things like that. But there's some content that we want to use from the content examples project as well. I already have that open here, but if you need to, pause the video, go download it from the launcher, you can just restart the video and follow along from this point. There's three things that we're going to use from the content examples project. There's a room for the character to run around in, a battery mesh for our battery pickup, and a lightning effect for when our character picks up the batteries. So right here in the content browser, you can actually just start typing. I'll write out the names, and they'll also be available in the descriptions for the videos. So we have BP demo room, and that's the room that we're going to take. And if you find it here in the content browser, under asset actions, you can migrate it. And as you see, this actually pulls together the materials, the blueprints, everything needed for this room to work in your project. And that's why it actually is most helpful to use that migrate functionality rather than just copying, say, the BP demo room asset from one project to the next. So go ahead and click OK once it's come up with the list of assets. Find your project here, and so we've got Unreal Projects, Battery Collector, and Content. So you need to put it in that Content folder, then say OK. Content migration has completed successfully, so let's do the next two really quick. We've got a battery, and we're going to take this SM battery medium. So again, right click, asset actions, migrate. Oh, our list will pop up. The content folder you just selected should already be selected, so these next two should go quickly, but again, just double check. Okay, again, migration completed successfully. And the last thing we want is an electricity arc, and we're going to use this when our character collects the batteries. So right click, asset actions, migrate. Again, this should be pretty familiar at this point. And if there's other projects or other content from the content examples project you might want to use, just follow these steps and you can use it in your own project. So at this point, we're now done with the content examples project, and we can close it out. Now let's do a little bit of setup back in our main battery collector project. First, we need a new level, so File, New Level, and we're going to use the default setup because it's already got, see the sky, some lights, things like that set up. We are going ahead and make a maps folder here in content, so in Content in the Content browser, right-click, New Folder. We're going to call this Maps. Open that up, and we are going to save our new level in here and call it Collection Level. So now you can see the level right here in the Content browser. But how do we get the project to use this level every time we open it? So to do that, we go to here, Settings, up here on the toolbar. Click on the drop down and Project Settings, second one here. And here on the left, there's Maps and Modes. So again, this is for working with the maps for your project. Do you see there's the game default map and the editor startup map right here? So the one that the game will start with and also the one that the editor will start with. We want to set both of these to collection level using this drop down arrow here. So collection level, and that will just save automatically in our configuration file, defaultengine.ini. So you can go ahead and close out. One thing I actually do want to point out though is that there's a default game mode here, and that sets things like our character, the default game mode, and that is part of the template. So if you use a different template, you will have, say, a different default pawn class and different game mode showing up here. So really quick, just a little bit of quick level design, which if this is something that you're not quite familiar with yet, we do have some level editor video tutorials you can go check out and get a little bit more familiar with. So we're going to select the floor over here in the world outliner and just delete it. Then here in the content browser, we're going to find that BP demo room again. See here on the icon here in the content browser and drag it in. And so we have this whole big room. And there's a number of properties already set up on the blueprint, and I would like to mirror the room so it's a little bit larger. Let's zoom out so you can see a bit what's going on. We're going to turn off the lights within the room. Open the roof because our batteries are actually going to fall from the sky, so we're going to go ahead and get that set up. And then change the color of the room and just turn on glass walls. So this is just a little bit of a open space that our character can run around in, and we can have the batteries fall in and not sort of have to go through the roof or anything that doesn't make sense like that. We're going to do some more tweaks like lighting and post-processing later, but for now this is enough to get us started. I said I used that default level because it came with some things like lights and a sky, but it also has a player start. So select that in the world outliner and hit F to focus on it. And that's actually clipped in through our floor a little bit, so let's move it up and more into the center of the room. And that gives our character a little bit of a better spawning position. So now we should have a level that looks a little bit like this, and when you hit play, the character will spawn in the middle and you can run around. If you notice, I actually need to rebuild my lighting, so I'm going to do that in between this video and the next video. And the next video, we're also going to get started creating our first code class. Thanks for watching.